Hey guys! So I'm here to tell you my adoption story. I was adopted at around 6 weeks old, so this isn't from my point of view. This is from the many stories that I've gathered and kind of put together. So obviously everyone has a different opinion of what happened and how it happened and why it happened. So I can't honestly tell you exactly like the full honest 100% truth because I don't know that. Everybody has their own story. Before I was born, my birth mother and my birth father, they were married and they had another child. And it was a boy. He was born a year before I was. And my birth mother also had, I want to say six other boys that were not with my father, but were with other men, and I don't think any of them had the same father that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong, I don't know. So those boys that she had without my birth father lived with their fathers or with her mother. And then my full brother, he lived with my birth mother's parents, I believe. So she didn't have, you know, control. She wasn't raising any of her kids when she got pregnant with me. I don't really have a whole lot of information on that side of it because I've only gotten like one side of the story from that. So I can't really say why that happened, and it's not really my place because, you know, that's their story, not mine. But what I do know is that when I was born, my full brother was living with my birth mother's parents, and that is where he grew up. So when I was born, my birth mother wanted to have her birth mother or her mother raise me, and her mom said, sorry, this is so confusing, her mom said no, she was already raising either 2 or 3 of her other kids, and she didn't have the room, she didn't have the financial means to support me. So my birth mother, from what I heard, she tried to raise me on her own, which is why I was 6 weeks when I was put up for adoption. So basically I lived with her in her and my birth father's house for those 6 weeks, and during that time my birth father went off to work, and he worked very long hours. He worked all the time. So my birth mother was left alone to take care of me. And this is where nobody really knows the whole story because it was only her there. So keep that in mind. This is just speculation at this point. But all I know is that when my birth father would come home, she would be very worked up, and she would say that she couldn't feed me, that I wanted to eat all the time. She was very irritated with me, and she just couldn't handle having a child, which, I mean, she didn't keep any of her others, so I guess, you know, she never really planned on, you know, being maternal. So this was probably hard for her. They put me up for adoption at 6 weeks old, and I don't really know the story around it. Apparently, I've only heard one side of this, but apparently she told her husband that she couldn't handle it anymore and she wanted to put me up for adoption because her mom wouldn't take me. And so she told my birth father that if he did not sign the papers, she was gonna leave him, and so they did. I was put up for adoption around Christmas time. I think I was like the 16th or something that I was actually adopted. At that time, they weighed me, and I only weighed 5 pounds and 13 ounces at, gosh, I was born October 20th. So I was 2 months old. So a few days shy of 2 months old. And I only weighed 5 pounds and 13 ounces. They speculated that I was failure to thrive. For whatever reason, all speculation again, but I didn't gain weight, and so it was either a medical condition or just neglect. So the doctor told my mom, just feed her whenever she's hungry and we'll see what happens. She did. Started to gain weight immediately. They determined that it was not a medical issue. Again, speculation. It's all speculation to say that there was neglect present, but that is what the doctors thought that it was. So that is basically the story around why I was adopted, or why I was put up for adoption. And I don't really know what to say other than that, but I was put up for adoption because my parents, I don't know, they just didn't want to be parents. And I guess my feeling on that is that it kind of makes me angry. And not them, like, I've forgiven them. It's a long time ago, and I am close with my birth father now, and we have a good relationship. But at the same time, I would have liked to know my full brother. I would have liked to know my siblings. I know I probably wouldn't have had a good life there, so I'm happy that I was able to be put up for adoption and have that childhood that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. But it does make me upset as a teen mother myself. My birth mother was not a teen mother with me. She was like in her 30s, I want to say, but I'm not sure. I think she was in her 30s. And I was 18 when I found out I was pregnant, and here I am, and I'm still raising my kids, and sure, it's hard, but I mean, why keep having kids if you're not gonna raise them? And I feel like that's a decent question to ask. I'm glad that I'm here. Don't get me wrong. I am very happy that I am in the world and I get to have kids of my own, but that's just kind of the question that I've had since I found out all this, is why keep having kids when you're not gonna raise them? Coming from a mom, me being a mom, you know, that's what I ask. So anyways, that is my story, and if you have your own stories, put them down in the comments, message me, tell me what your story is, tell me what your adoption, meeting your birth parents was like. Just let me know what your story is. So that's basically my adoption story, and if you want, I can do further things on like my relationship with my adopted parents now, and like what's going on with them, because it's a bunch of stuff has changed. I can do that in a separate video if you'd like. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.